Joining us now, Democratic Congresswoman Susan DelBene of Washington. She created a jobs bill, which is the central paycheck protection component of the HEROES Act, and she is here now. Thank you so much for joining us. How will this bill help Americans get through this?
Well, first of all, let me say thank you to all of you for recognizing the over 100,000 lives that have been lost across our country, almost 1,100 in my state of Washington. These are our friends and our family, our loved ones, and we all grieve for them. You are also right in that we have done, we need to do more to make sure that families who are struggling economically can get by. And one of the key components is to make sure that we keep people connected to their jobs, getting a paycheck and receiving benefits. And so a key part of the HEROES Act, based on legislation that myself and Stephanie Murphy from Florida introduced, would be to expand the employee retention tax credit. This is a tax credit that was put in place in the CARES Act in a small way to help cover payroll. We expand it so that it would run from March, so you can look backwards through the end of the year, calendar year, and would help cover up to 80% of qualified wages so that a small business would have their payroll covered. You could also get money for overhead to make sure that they're able to keep their employees in their jobs, getting a paycheck on benefits and reduce unemployment.
Willie.
Congresswoman, it's Willie Geist. Thanks for being on this morning. This obviously will be welcome news to so many small business owners. Who exactly would qualify for this? There was some trouble, as you know, with the first round of PPP of some of these small businesses actually getting the money they needed to survive. So how do they go about it, and who qualifies?
One, this is any business that suffered greater than 10% revenue loss from the previous year would qualify with employees, 1,500 employees or less. It is separate from the Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP loan program. This is a tax credit, and it's an advanced refundable tax credit. So the way it works is directly with the IRS, you would be able to claim your qualified wages up to $15,000 per employee per quarter. Then you would be eligible to an 80% tax credit from that. And the elegant way we made it work, and I used to run the Department of Revenue for the state of Washington, so I know putting programs in place is hard. It's more than just the legislation. We work so that you would, through the IRS, a business would not have to pay their payroll taxes or certain withholding. They would basically be able to keep that money based on the credit they would receive. So instead of writing a check to the IRS and then the IRS sending you money back, you'd be able to keep those dollars in place and get that credit. So it would be able to get up and running quickly, no middleman, and help businesses right away.
Congresswoman, looking at the latest jobless claims, 2.1 million filed last week, bringing the total over 10 weeks to 41 million. What are your concerns specific to your constituents in the weeks and months to come?
Well, I have many concerns. One is testing and making sure we're able to get testing and contact tracing up to the level where, as we start to reopen, we can make sure there are no further spikes. In Washington State, we've done a great job of bending the curve, and we're just starting to do a phased reopening. But testing and contact tracing are be critical to that. We need to make sure that we help our communities, help folks get back on their feet. One thing about the employee retention tax credit is that because it runs to the end of the year, it gives that certainty to businesses and to their employees so that they know that program's available and those resources are available, even as they start to reopen, because we know this is going to take time. So making sure we're doing the public health side of contact tracing and testing is very, very important. Making sure we're doing the other side of providing the economic resources, including not only employee retention tax credit, but all of the things in the HEROES Act, support for state and local government. We know that the more we do now, we help prevent this crisis from becoming even worse economically, and we help the recovery happen faster. So it's very important that we move legislation through to help our communities.
Congresswoman Susan DelBene, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.